The issue of sex work has been in the news a lot lately, with OnlyFans recently rescinding its proposed ban on porn, and MasterCard creating new policies to regulate adult content. But at the same time, a movement to decriminalize the sex industry has gained some ground. In April, Manhattan stopped prosecuting prostitution, instead going after people who pay for sex. And two proposed bills could further change things in New York State, one that would penalize customers and another that would fully decriminalize the sex industry. I asked purchase students about their opinions on decriminalization and whether those who pay for sex should still face penalties. So do you think that sex work should be decriminalized?
Yes, get that bread. Anyway, you can.
I do think sex work should be decriminalized. I believe in a woman's choice and any person's choice to dictate what happens to their own body and dictate whatever they do with their body. And if somebody wants to make a profit off of that, then they should have every right to.
Sex work definitely includes creating pornography, and that's like more than half of the country that enjoys that, so yeah.
Having it like criminalized, so many people just are in a cycle of prison and like don't actually get the help they need to like really get out of that cycle.
It'll just make it much more safer. It's kind of like the drug industry with alcohol or just marijuana. You don't really know if it's 100%, and I think it'll be just much safer for everyone if you decriminalize it, because then you can have like people get STD checks, and the government can kind of just police it and stuff and make it much safer.
Decriminalization of sex working is not a good thing. It's kind of sad because, mothers or daughters have to use their bodies to, make a living and, bring food to their children. So I would say I think it should be criminalized because I feel like it's wrong. I think you can do more with your life than just selling your body for pleasure.
Sex work, it's just work, but you just use your body. I don't understand why there's such a big fuss about it as long as you're legal and you're doing it safely.
If being a sex worker was decriminalized, do you think that other roles in the sex industry also should be, like working as a middleman or paying for sex?
Yes, if it's all being decriminalized, then it all should be decriminalized, yeah. But I don't like the middleman, like pimps or anything. I feel like the women or the men should do it for themselves.
They don't do anything. They're not a part of it. They're not a part of sex itself, so they shouldn't be benefiting from other people having sex.
Because there's a lot of abuse with pimps and sex trafficking. It gets risky. Maybe if it's decriminalized, it should be regulated by a law, so that things don't happen where little girls are in trouble. That's tough. But I think in a perfect world, if it were regulated, then you have to pay for the sex. There's no way around that.
I hear big porn sites mistreat their workers and all that, and I don't think that's really funky fresh at all. If somebody wants to put their work on that site, I feel like they should be able to, but I don't think the site should have all that power over the sex workers.
There are people in the sex work, especially people that do pay for sex. Some of them are not nice people. Some of them do hurt sex workers, and I feel like that should be criminalized. I feel like there should be more protection for the people that are doing the sex work first, so then they can establish what is right and wrong. So then people that do that kind of stuff do get criminalized.
I never think anybody should pay for sex, It should just be something that two people feel, and it happens. It shouldn't be something that's forced. So I feel it's forced when you're paying for it, and you're not going to get anything out of it, really.